At the beginning of this year, a wave of some of YouTube's most revered creators made the announcement that they would be stepping back from involvement within their channels, or outright retiring from the platform altogether. For these creators, the exodus coincides with years upon years of content creation. But with such a long career, many were skeptical if they would actually quit. Well, today we're going to take a look at a few of these creators and determine if they actually took the plunge into retirement. One of the most long-standing influencers to announce his departure from the platform was Tom Scott, a British fellow known for a series of weekly uploads in which he would travel around the world and highlight various topics many might not be aware of. His hallmark show began its life as Things You Might Not Know in 2014, with the first entry in the series being a short video about horse crossings found across British roads.
And a special staging area that I'm currently standing in which horses can wait before the lights change and they are able to cross the road that way.
To say he was a busy person would be an understatement, as nearly every day of his life would be spent working on or traveling to one project or another, uploading to his YouTube channel on a weekly basis. Anytime I personally think of him, I can't help but remind myself of an incident from October of 2020, in which he complained on Twitter about a growing trend of people photoshopping him into video games, because he didn't want to be associated with gamers. In the last few days, there's been a trend of kids photoshopping me into video games. It's uncomfortable for me. I'd prefer it wasn't a thing. I was actually planning on doing a video in Minecraft a few months ago. The Minecraft world in question was set up by a charity. I won't name which one for obvious reasons. So I got a copy of Minecraft, set a screen recorder going, and joined the server. 15 seconds after I connected, the first racial slur appeared in the server chat. I can't ignore that. I can't point people to a server where that's happening, so the whole video fell apart. Regardless, Tom Scott pressed onward with his real-world videos, but his strict and consistent schedule would understandably take a toll. Because of this, in the summer of 2023, it was announced that Scott had planned to take an indefinite sabbatical from weekly uploads beginning in January of 2024, coinciding with the anniversary of his first Things You Might Not Know episode. In his upload, 6 months from now this channel stops, Scott let his community know in advance that his main channel would see 26 more videos before being left dormant for a period of time. The final upload of this batch was titled, After 10 Years, It's Time to Stop Weekly Videos. Tom detailed his time on the internet, explaining that after a decade of weekly content, he would officially be retiring the concept. The creator noted he had multiple times faced burnout, and when attempts to make it more manageable turned up unsatisfactory to his personal brand, he decided that it was time to step back and take a breath. While he reiterated that he had no plans to permanently leave content creation as a whole, he felt he had run his course with this style of videos. The upload concludes with Scott being hoisted beneath a helicopter and flying off into the sunsets, an image that has since become iconic. The impact Tom's upload had on the internet was monumental. Multiple news outlets published stories about the departure, including The Guardian and Yahoo News. But the largest outcry of support came from the YouTube community.
So it takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage to do what Tom Scott has done here. To recognize that it's time that he focuses on himself and his own mental well-being. And as he said, do less and be happier.
Many on the platform had been following Scott for a long time, as he had fostered a strong community of fans who would tune in consistently to see what the creator would be covering in that week's upload. Besides those slightly odd gaming tweets, he faced no controversy in his time on the platform, which translated into a diverse audience of people from all walks of life, with some even dubbing him the internet's dad. Fortunately for fans of Tom's, while his weekly uploads have been brought to an indefinite end, it has been made clear that his podcast, Lateral, will continue on, with weekly uploads still being recorded and uploaded to this day. In his farewell, Tom did not entirely discount the possibility of the odd upload on his main channel in the future, although certainly not returning to the weekly schedule he had once adhered to. If you look up your personal information on the internet, it's kind of crazy how much of it is out there, which is where Aura comes into play to help. Whether these websites have your full name, legal address, phone number, relatives information, or healthcare plans, Aura will send out requests to any website online that is holding that information and demand that it be taken down. I know a lot of people might scoff off what personal information of theirs is available online, but just look at the headlines. AT&T recently revealed that over 73 million customer records, both existing and former customers, were released on the dark web. In response to this, it was recommended that all those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. Well, the great thing is, Aura does all of this for you plus much more, and you don't have to download a bunch of random apps. It's all in one spot. So if you've been affected by one of the 1,000 data breaches out there, which let's be honest, every single one of you watching has, Aura will help you prevent any damage from being done to your personal identity. I value my privacy and I think you should as well. So go to aura.com/tgfm or click the link in the description down below to start your 2-week free trial. In the Minecraft community on YouTube, a few creators are as well known and respected as Jordan Marin, more famously known as Captain Sparkles. Beginning his channel in 2010 with gameplay videos of Call of Duty, the creator eventually began shifting to Minecraft content later in the year, staking his claim as one of the first creators to focus primarily on the popular sandbox game. But the most culturally impactful video of his career would come in 2011, in the form of Revenge, a parody of the then famous DJ's Got Us Falling in Love song by Usher. This video would go on to be the creator's most viewed video, setting off a new subgenre of Minecraft song parodies, and even winning him a Guinness World Book of Record for the most viewed fan film based on a video game ever in July of 2016. To this very day, the video is still referenced, mainly for the first line of it.
Creeper. Oh man.
But as time went on, the landscape of the genre would grind to a standstill by the late 2010s. While videos featuring the game would see a resurgence in 2020 with the rise of the Dream SMP and others, many of the legacy creators would not feel much impact from the new wave of popularity, leaving many of the old guard in an awkward position. It was following this that late last year, Captain Sparkles decided it was time for a change to his channel. In the video titled Retiring, Jordan would reveal that he planned to change the focal point of his content away from Minecraft. He made it clear that the current series he was running, aptly called the Final Minecraft Let's Play, would be the bookend of his Minecraft gaming career. However, not ruling out the odd one-off video once the series had concluded. He would instead shift his focus primarily to vlog-style videos, a type of content he had been uploading more and more frequently. This new genre had been vastly more successful than individual Minecraft uploads in the past few years, so this switch certainly made sense from a business standpoint. As with many other creators retiring around this time, Jordan made it clear that while he loved creating the content for the last decade, times were changing and he wanted to adapt to the media landscape as well as evolve his content offerings. In the time since his announcement, Captain Sparkles has continued to upload to his final Let's Play series on his main channel, which I really don't know when will actually end. He's also released a couple of commentary videos on different topics during this transitional period. But the biggest release has fittingly been a remastered version of Revenge, the music video that granted him his mainstream fame all the way back in the day. The next creator we will be taking a look at is none other than good old MatPat. Real name Matthew Patrick is a creator that surely needs no introduction to my audience. Known primarily for his web series Game Theory, in which he overanalyzes aspects of video games, most famously Five Nights at Freddy's. Matt was inspired after watching a video by Extra Credits, causing him to conceptualize a show in which he would dissect aspects of video games and apply them to real-life subjects, such as math or science, in an attempt to educate viewers of complex topics in a way that was fun and engaging.
Inspired by fellow gaming series Extra Credits, found here, we have created Game Theory, gaming's tangential learning experience.
As the channel grew steadily across the rest of the year, MatPat would continue to put a large effort into growing his brand. In 2012, he was onboarding creators like Gaijin Goomba's Game Exchange and Ronnie Edwards' Digressing and Side Questing onto the account. After amassing millions of subscribers, multiple other side channels would join the lineup which focused on other subjects, such as film theory, food theory, style theory, and MatPat's gaming livestream channel, GT Live, all of which were successful in their own right. Growth for the channels would continue to the point that in 2022, Theorist Media was acquired in a business move that made waves across the industry. The amount of time it took to run this empire clearly had become more than they wanted to handle on their own, which is why MatPat decided it was time for a change. On January 9th of 2024, a video titled Goodbye Internet was released. In it, Matt stressed that while he loved the community and brand he had fostered throughout the last decade, the workload had become too straining on his personal life, keeping him and his wife constantly putting the needs of their channel before their family and friends, even referencing Tom Scott's farewell as similar in reasoning to their own. Matt further explains that the recent increase of staff hirings and sale of the channel to LunarX were both measures taken in order to preserve the Theory brand after Matt's departure. Near the end of the video, his future involvement in the channels was also discussed, with Matt revealing that he would continue to hold some oversight into the new content created by the network, and would even continue to host GT Live for the time being. But the biggest revelation was that each of the channels would continue with the new host in 2 months' time. March came and went, and while having an individual final video for each of the 4 channels throughout the first week of the month, the final video Matt would personally host was MatPat's Final Theory on the Game Theory channel, the same account that Matt had uploaded theater performances to 15 years prior. This final release took an interesting turn as the end panel revealed that multiple endings had been recorded and hidden online, to be found via an ARG developed by the creator as a goodbye gift to his audience. Although this would be Matt's final theory, in his classic style, he had flipped the tables on the community by offering them their own puzzle to theorize on. With such an iconic creator leaving his seat while still having a massively popular network of channels, the YouTube community at large wished nothing but the best for MatPat, with him even receiving a goodbye video from YouTube themselves. In the time between the Final Theory and Goodbye Internet, MatPat would introduce the new hosts for each of the Theory channels to his audience on GT Live. During the stream, the comments were overwhelmingly positive, with many welcoming the new crew with open arms. The fact that they handed the reins to people who were already working on the channels made it a lot easier of a transition. However, as is typical with new hosts of long-standing series, many of the community were resistant to the changes, feeling that each of the channels had changed following Matt's departure. All in all though, this might be the most successful exit of a channel host in the platform's history, because any other instance of a creator leaving their channel usually leads to absolute miserable viewership. Hunter Hancock, more well known as Meat Canyon or Papa Meat, is a YouTuber famous for his over-the-top, gross, and horrific animations, often parodying current events or popular media. The first of his media parodies came in 2017, being a spoof of Star Wars titled It's Hard to Convince Anakin Skywalker. Both that year and the next would be rather slow for engagement on the channel, with it averaging only a few thousand views each month. But all that changed at the end of 2019, when he saw a massive increase in viewership, totaling nearly 450,000 views in September and ballooning to a whopping 4 million the very next month. Over the course of the pandemic, he became the most famous animator on the platform with over 7 million subscribers. But as was the case for the other creators mentioned today, Meat Canyon uploaded a video called Goodbye for Now, in which he announced that for the time being, he would be stepping back from his bi-weekly videos on the main account. While noting that it wasn't a permanent retirement, he had been unsatisfied with the content he had been producing for the past few years, as he felt it wasn't very meaningful and had been made solely to capitalize on current events in order to maintain viewership and gain subscribers. He went on to state that his secondary channel, Papa Meat, was currently his primary source of income anyway, putting him in a position to be more selective in the types of animations he created.
I want to be able to upload a video and have it be art. I want it to be something that's like, you know, even if it gets a fraction of the views or attention of something else, I can at least be like, damn, that was cool.
The trend of YouTube animators stepping away from their original content for something less time-consuming is nothing new for a platform notorious for encouraging quickly produced long-form videos that can be made inexpensively. Egoraptor made the switch from animation to Let's Plays for the very same reason well over a decade ago at this point. In the months following Goodbye for Now, Meat Canyon has continued to release content on his Papa Meat channel consistently, and has even released 2 new parody videos, to which fans have noticed an increase in quality in the animation and overall production value as a whole. making it debatable if Hunter should have ever been lumped into the retirement trend in the first place. In conclusion, I think it's clear that this great retirement trend was more or less just a tale of creators spreading themselves too thin. It's safe to say that all of the YouTubers discussed today have enough money to never have to work another day in their life. So these recent videos are less about quitting per se and more just a display of driven people trying to find a better work-life balance for themselves. While commenters will often deride creators for only doing it for the money, for the most part I haven't seen that to be the case. In an industry as cutthroat as online content creation, you'll often go years with almost no subscribers or opportunity. So it's very easy to bite off more than you can chew when the offers you work so hard for start rolling in. Oftentimes, you'll see this manifest in YouTubers having mental breakdowns for the world to see when the stress becomes unbearable. So because of this, I think the Great Retirement would be a case study of how to step down from responsibilities in a more constructive way.